Before Ferrari built the most desired cars on the planet, Enzo Ferrari was rejected, humiliated, by the very company he'd later make obsolete. And the reason he built his first car? Pure burning rage. This is the story of a grieving son, a fired employee, a stubborn dreamer, and how all of that pain somehow produced the most iconic automotive brand in human history. Ferrari didn't start in a boardroom. It started in heartbreak. If you love stories where the underdog wins in the most spectacular way possible, hit subscribe because this is that story. The boy from Modena. Let's go back to February 18, 1898, a small town in northern Italy called Modena. Enzo Anselmo Ferrari is born to Alfredo and Adalgisa Ferrari, a metalworkers family, nothing fancy. His father ran a small metal fabrication workshop, and young Enzo grew up around the smell of iron and engine grease. But the moment that changed everything? When Enzo was 10 years old, his father took him to watch a motor race in Bologna. He saw cars moving at speeds that didn't feel human. He was completely hooked. Then life got brutal fast. Enzo's father died in 1916. His brother Dino died shortly after. Enzo himself was drafted into World War I, fell seriously ill, and nearly didn't make it back. He returned from the war with nothing, no family, no money, no plan. He applied to Fiat for a job. They turned him down flat. Most people would have walked away from the dream right there. Enzo didn't. From rejection to racing, watch how fast things changed. The Alfa Romeo years. Unable to get in at Fiat, Enzo found his way to a smaller company, CMN. He worked as a test driver and mechanic, and then in 1919 he started racing. He was good, really good. By 1920, he caught the attention of Alfa Romeo, one of Italy's most prestigious manufacturers. They brought him on as a factory driver. Enzo wasn't just fast behind the wheel, he understood the engineering, he understood the people, and he had an almost obsessive eye for racing strategy. In 1929, Enzo founded Scuderia Ferrari, which literally translates to Ferrari Stable. It started as a racing team that ran Alfa Romeo cars. Think of it like a contractor. Ferrari managed the races, Alfa Romeo supplied the machines. It worked brilliantly. Scuderia Ferrari became one of the most feared outfits on European circuits. Then Alfa Romeo pulled him closer. They made him head of their racing department in 1938. For a moment, it looked like Enzo had everything he wanted. But Alfa Romeo placed restrictions on him. He couldn't race under the Ferrari name. He couldn't operate independently. For a man like Enzo, proud, stubborn, and fiercely independent, that was suffocating. He left, or was pushed out. Depends on who you ask. Out of a job at 40 years old. Most men retire. Enzo was just getting started. Auto Avio Costruzioni and the tractor years. In 1939, Enzo founded his own company, Auto Avio Costruzioni. And here's the part most people don't know. His original non-compete agreement with Alfa Romeo meant he couldn't build racing cars for 4 years. So what did he do? He built machine tools, agricultural machinery, grinders, lathes, even components for tractors. Yes, the man behind Ferrari once made tractor parts to keep the lights on. But quietly in the background, the racing ambition never died. In 1940, just before Italy entered World War II, his team built 2 cars for the Mille Miglia under the name 815, not Ferrari because of the contract. The war canceled the race. The cars never competed. Then the war hit Italy hard. Enzo moved his factory from Modena to Maranello in 1943, partly to escape bombing raids. The factory got bombed anyway, twice, but Maranello stuck. That small town in the Emilia-Romagna region is still where every single Ferrari is built today. The bombs cleared, the contract expired, and in 1947, everything changed. The birth of Ferrari. On March 12, 1947, in a small workshop in Maranello, the first true Ferrari car fired its engine for the very first time. The 125S, a 1.5-liter 512. The sound it made was unlike anything Italian roads had heard before. Enzo Ferrari didn't even watch. He was reportedly too emotional to be in the room. The 125S went on to win its first race in May 1947 at the Circuit of Piacenza. Ferrari, the name, the brand, the legend, had officially arrived. What made early Ferrari special wasn't just speed, it was the obsession. Enzo had a philosophy. The car must win. Everything else was secondary. He was known to be cold, calculating, sometimes ruthless with his drivers. But nobody doubted his commitment to making the fastest machine possible. By the early 1950s, Ferrari was dominating Formula One. José Froilán González gave Ferrari its first F1 victory at the 1951 British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Then Alberto Ascari won back-to-back world championships in 1952 and 1953. Ferrari wasn't just a car brand anymore. It was a force of nature. Racing glory was secured. Now came the moment that defined Ferrari's road cars forever. The Ford feud and the birth of the road car legend. Here's where the story gets genuinely cinematic. In the early 1960s, Ferrari was struggling financially. Ferrari had been winning Le Mans since 1960. In 1966, the Ford GT40 crossed the finish line first, second, and third. Enzo was devastated, but the rivalry pushed both sides to build more extraordinary cars, and it forced Ferrari to sharpen its road car lineup to fund the racing program. That's how icons like the Ferrari 250 GTO, the 275 GTB, and eventually the legendary Daytona came to be, born partly out of competitive spite and financial necessity. Meanwhile, Fiat acquired a 50% stake in Ferrari in 1969, giving Enzo the capital he needed while letting him keep control of the racing side. A clean deal, the kind Enzo could live with. The road cars got faster, the legend grew bigger, but the hardest moment was still coming. Dino, grief, and the cars born from loss. In 1956, Enzo Ferrari's son, Alfredo Ferrari, known as Dino, died of muscular dystrophy at just 24 years old. Enzo never fully recovered. He channeled that grief into something lasting. He named a whole line of Ferrari cars Dino, a separate sub-brand of smaller mid-engine sports cars dedicated to his son's memory. The Dino 206, the Dino 246. These weren't badged as Ferraris initially, they were Dinos. Enzo wanted the name to live. It's one of the most quietly emotional gestures in automotive history, a father building monuments at 200 miles per hour. From grief to glory, the 1980s brought Ferrari's most dramatic era yet, the modern era and the supercar arms race. Enzo Ferrari died on August 14, 1988, at the age of 90. He had spent literally his entire adult life building something the world had never seen before. In his final years, he approved what would become one of the most celebrated cars ever made, the Ferrari F40. Raw, violent, no nonsense. It was his final gift to enthusiasts. After his death, Fiat took full control, and Ferrari entered a new era, more corporate, more structured, but no less obsessive about performance. The 1990s brought the F50, the 2000s brought the Enzo, named after the founder himself, the ultimate tribute. Then the LaFerrari in 2013, the SF90 Stradale in 2019, each one pushing the boundary between road car and racing machine further than anyone thought possible. Ferrari went public on the New York Stock Exchange in 2015. A company that once survived by making tractor parts was now worth billions on Wall Street. And through all of it, the wind tunnels, the carbon fiber, the hybrid powertrains, the prancing horse badge never changed. The same logo Enzo chose in 1923, borrowed from the fighter ace Francesco Baracca, still sits on every car that rolls out of Maranello today. From a grieving boy in Modena to the most recognizable car brand on earth, Ferrari's story isn't really about horsepower. It's about what happens when someone refuses to quit, no matter how many times life tells them to. Every Ferrari ever built carries a little bit of that stubbornness in its bones. And honestly, that's what makes them worth caring about. If this story hits different, drop a comment with your favorite Ferrari of all time and subscribe if you want more brand histories like this one.